Joe, good morning.
Good morning.
Joe, we now know that the Democrats coming back are going to define exactly what their impeachment investigation into the president is going to look like. Yet Jerry Nadler said previously that they've already started the impeachment process, so now they're going to define it. But my question is, can they do any of this without actually voting on it? Don't they have to have a vote first?
Well, in order to get legal status in U.S. district courts to enforce subpoenas against the President of the United States and his staff, they must have an actual impeachment proceeding underway, which means they must vote formal articles of impeachment and vote them out of the House floor. That way they can go to court and say, we have this power and therefore we have certain rights under Supreme Court precedent, U.S. versus Nixon, and the D.C. Circuit, U.S. versus Espy, to get testimony from and documents from the president and his staff. They don't have that now. They do not have a formal impeachment process because Nancy Pelosi doesn't want one for political reasons. So what Nadler is doing is faking it. He's saying this is an impeachment process, even though we don't have formal impeachment. Unfortunately, legally, that doesn't help him in the U.S. district courts.
When you talk about this legally, you mentioned a floor vote. Does it require a full floor vote?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not an impeachment without a vote by the House of Representatives to proceed with impeachment. They can have a vote in committee. They might try to argue that they've passed out articles of impeachment. They're going to have to send it to the House floor in order to proceed with impeachment. Remember, the process can get underway that way, and they may argue that in U.S. District Court. We'll see how it fares.
As they move forward with this, as Congress comes back, they're also going to be looking at gun issues. They're also looking at a continuing resolution. In your opinion, what you see going on in Washington right now, can they get any of that done, or is impeachment just going to override everything? And these continued investigations, they're also now launching an investigation into payment to Stormy Daniels and Karen McDougal. Is that what is going to be the overriding theme of this Congress as they come back?
Sure seems that way,
yeah.
And notwithstanding Nancy Pelosi's wishes not to have that happen, it looks like the impeachment process, even though the American people are terribly uninterested in what the Nadler committee is doing, they seem bound and determined to do this. This is the lunacy when you have people like Ocasio-Cortez running your party. She is in reality the Speaker of the House. Make no mistake about it. A 29-year-old nitwit, an incandescent ignoramus, is running the House of Representatives, and there's nothing that Nancy Pelosi can do about it. So the answer is apparently that's what they want to do.
Incandescent ignoramus. That's going into my rotation.
You love alliteration.
I love it.
Great.
Joe, I want to ask you about something also close to home, which is Montgomery County, Maryland, because there you've got Montgomery County Executive Mark Elrich now in a war of words with Ken Cuccinelli, the acting USCIS director. He joins us at 8:05 this morning, that is, Ken. But as you see all this play out, as Montgomery County is protecting illegal immigrants at all costs, what are the things that jump to mind for you?
Well, the statement that the county issued on Thursday was an insult to every citizen of Montgomery County. They called everybody who believes that illegal immigration is bad and that not cooperating with ICE is bad, neo-Nazis. Make no mistake about it. When they threw in neo-Nazi organizations in that, when they were talking about the president, Ken Cuccinelli, conservative news, or they were talking about people like you two and me. They think we're neo-Nazis. So let me just say this to Mark Elrich, the county executive. I live in Montgomery County. I pay Montgomery County taxes. I'm going to do everything in my power to see that at least one Republican gets elected. Now, let's remember this. This is a Democratic-run county. These problems were created, nurtured by Democrats. There is not a single Republican on the county council. There is not a single Republican holding any office in Montgomery County. This is a Democratic Party clown show. The disgusting language out of the county executive's office last Thursday about neo-Nazi organizations is unfit for human consumption. These are the people, they never raise their voices, by the way. You notice when they come on, they have this smarmy, know-it-all attitude about how dare you ask this question. They never raise their voices. They just raise your taxes. This is disgusting. What they did the other day, and to watch Governor Larry Hogan just sit there like a dumbbell and say nothing about this as Republicans are smeared by Elrich and the clowns on the county council. This is truly, truly disgusting, and it deserves a reaction. Republicans don't demonstrate. They don't go out and stand in front of the place. But I must say, surely there are some Democrats in the county who have a sense of decency, who will not like what Elrich did last week. I find it nauseating. It's disgusting. But here's the point. This is an all-Democrat clown show. They run that county from stem to stern. And by the way, where's the county attorney? Where's the police chief? What do they think of this? These are law enforcement people. This is about the rule of law, but it isn't. It's about La Raza, Casa, Maryland, and all the Latino organizations that put money in the Democratic Party coffers. But you know who the victims are? Latinos. They're the rape victims by these awful people that they release into the community.
Well, when you come down to it, the policies absolutely are classist and racist. Because if this happened in Chevy Chase, people would be screaming and they would be paying attention to it. But because it's happening to immigrants in poor communities, they're ignoring it. You brought up Larry Hogan. We got a tweet saying, I want to know why Larry Hogan won't speak. How long can Larry Hogan go without speaking on this?
He can go as long as he wants because Larry is, he's a compromiser, but that's fine for a politician. But this is a moral issue. This is a rule of law issue. He should, as the governor, take a position on state. This is the largest county in the state, Montgomery County. It's bigger than some states in the union. This is nonsense. This is unlawful activity being promoted by all the public officials. And I want to say this again. Where's the county attorney? Where's the state's attorney? Where's the police chief? So let's make it very clear. Nobody, if someone doesn't object to this policy, they condone it. They condone the release of known criminals who are known rapists into the community. None of this will ever change unless Democrats in the county who are voters see that they are threatened by this. Right now, Mary, you said it best. This is an ethnic community problem, and so the Democrats in the county don't care. They're happy to get the votes from the Latinos, but as long as it's only Latinos who are being raped, they don't care. These are the good government people. These are the Democrats who run Montgomery County. These people, these Democrats, are nauseating, and Larry Hogan ought to be ashamed of himself. He's an embarrassment.
Yeah.
All right, Joe diGenova, thank you so much. We always appreciate your insight. Have a great week.